What's going on, guys? Lazy Tony Vapes here, and we've got something that's very unique. It's not new necessarily because the design has been around for a little bit, but it's new to me. So there's that. This is the Orion Plus by Lost Vapes, and while you can do salt nic or regular e-liquid in this, this is an extremely unique vape system. So just from the looks of it by itself, there's no digital readout or anything. The DNA chip actually has its own built-in standard flavor profiles, which allow you to choose between salt nic or standard e-liquid. You got your firing mechanism right here. This is a release clasp for the actual pod itself, and then it charges via micro USB at the bottom. So the pod itself, with the original Orion DNA, you actually had to replace essentially this whole thing, which obviously can get costly, this, that, and the other. Now, you no longer have to do that. Now, you can just replace the coil itself. And it's pretty simple. You just unscrew the drip tip, you remove, how do I remove it? Essentially, you're going to leverage a table, push down on the coil so it pops up, take the coil out, then you can just buy the coil by itself, prime it, do everything that you would normally do. So let's look at the specs on this thing. You have a 2 milliliter capacity on this pod right here. It supports 5 power options, and as I mentioned earlier, it automatically recognizes the Orion DNA Go between 0.25 ohm or 0.5 ohm refillable pods. It has a pre-installed 0.25 mesh coil. It comes with a lanyard, cool, so you can just hang it from your neck, and of course micro USB, and the battery is about 950 milliamp hours. So the question now is, who is this for? Well, again, individuals that are either using salt nic or regular e-liquid. This might be perfect for those individuals that don't want anything too big like this, or don't want anything too small like this. Like, physically speaking, aesthetically speaking, this might be something that would fit in their breast pocket, the back pocket, and it's not too obtrusive or anything to that nature. If you're worried about what wattage can I vape at, you do have a profile where, depending on the color that you see, there is a specific color profile for each level of wattage that is pre-programmed into the DNA chip. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it really goes to, there's so many different options for vapors out there with regard to the different instruments that we use. I can't tell you if this is 100% better than the IPV. I can only tell you this, that I personally like to have a readout. I personally also like the firing mechanism on the side, so this has won me over. It's a very weird kind of setup, like the whole aspect where all the e-liquid's in here and you have to use this clasp to undo it. I mean, it's kind of this whole thing that I'm personally, again, not very familiar with, but it's extremely unique. And while these things are not necessarily fashion statements, again, kind of like the watch here, as long as you're doing it safely and smartly, I don't really see it being a bad thing. So yeah, that's the Orion Plus. Big thanks to Central Cloud for providing this for me to test it out as an impressions video. If you guys have any more questions about this compared to the original Orion DNA, please leave that in the comment section down below. Links, as always, can be found in the description down below. You can find me here on YouTube, Lazy Tony Vapes, as well as Instagram, Lazy Tony Vapes, and the shop, Central Cloud Vapors, on Facebook and Instagram. Talk to you later. Late.